With all this talk about AI and development recently, I feel that an under-discussed topic is that we have officially entered the golden age of game modding. So what I want to do in this video is tell you my 3 steps that I use to always create basically any game mod I want. And I'm going to also give you an example of a mod that I created to sort of put this into frame and give you a taste of what's possible. So with no further ado, let's jump in. And this is Total War Warhammer 3. So if you're not familiar with this game, basically it's a strategy game. You control a faction or nation, and there's many other factions and nations in the world. The way the game is played is that you move your armies around and your units and so on, and then when your turn is finished, you click a button down here, the game advances the turn, everybody else in the world gets a turn, and then it's back to your turn. So this brings us to what mod I wanted to do in this game. So it's very minor, but it was costing me a lot of time as I was playing this game. So if you see here at the top right corner, there's these 2 buttons. This button toggles the minimap or the whole world map, and this button toggles the notifications. So for me, that piece of information is not interesting because I've played this game enough to know generally where everything is. And for these notifications, most of them are not interesting, and if something really important happens, it gets its own pop-up window to talk about that event specifically. So I wouldn't miss anything important. So this is just to say that these 2 UI elements here to me were completely unnecessary, and see what happens. So if I close them and then I would end my turn, then as soon as the next turn started, these 2 panels would start up open by default. And every single turn that I played this game, I will have to manually click those 2 to turn them off. I know it's a very minor thing, it's completely personal preference, but it was driving me insane. So once I discovered that some sort of AI tool can come in, inspect the game's modding capabilities and files, and understand what I want to do, and make these 2 panels go away, I gave it a try. So before I explain to you how I did it and give you my 3 best practices for doing it, I want to demonstrate how this mod works. So the turn would start, I would close these 2 panels off, move my armies around and build buildings, and then end my turn. So normally, after everybody else in the world got the chance to take a turn, the time when my turn started, the minimap panel and the notification panel would normally start up maximized again. So I'm just skipping through the turns of everybody else in the world quickly. And once my turn comes around, there we go. So now that my turn came around, you will notice that these 2 panels are not open, which I know is a super minor point, but it gave my mind infinite freedom. And I chose to do it in such a way where these elements are not deleted from the game or anything heavy-handed like that. Instead, they are simply minimized, and I can open them up again if I want to. Right now, there's no notifications, so that's why this one is disabled. So all in all, a pretty elegant solution, I felt. So that's how it works. Now, moving to how this was done. Personally, I did this one with Codex, and I did it a while ago, so more than 3 months ago or something. So do you absolutely need Codex to do it? I don't think so. I think you can use your favorite tool and it should work just as well. So there's a lot of freedom when it comes to what tools you choose to do this. The thing that I wanted to share that might be of some help is these 3 principles for making sure that the AI has an easy time doing what you want in the game. So step 1 was to describe overall what I want to do. So in this case, say that here's the map panel, and under it would be the notifications panel, and they normally start maximized every turn. So I would like it if they start minimized at every turn the player takes. And with this, I would supplement a screenshot of the situation and circle these two to give the AI a visual anchor as to what I'm talking about. The second part is quite important, and I don't think it's being discussed enough in the whole AI dev sphere, is I didn't want the AI to jump in and try to do it in any random way. I didn't want it to hack the game or reinvent the wheel when it comes to modding and so on. Instead, I wanted, since this game happens to support modding already, I wanted the AI to be aware of the documentation around modding before it went in and adjusted all these things. So as a second step, I would also say something like, make sure to consult the official documentation for modding of this game and use the best practices mentioned in that. So the AI would prioritize reading the official guidelines, and if something was absolutely impossible, then it would go off on its own and try to find a solution. But in my experience so far with this game and Baldur's Gate 3 and Rogue Trader, that didn't seem to be necessary for mods so far. So using the official tools and the official guidelines saved me a lot of time, and it gave the AI the quick path, let's say, to discovering all the information it needs to do the mod. Now, for step number 3, and I feel this is starting to get discussed more and more. I think with OpenAI's latest prompt guide, they mentioned that. And they say that you really need to give the AI a goal. We've heard that before, but why is that and what does it affect? So if I just stopped in these previous 2 steps and I said, this is what I want to do and please read the online documentation, the AI would do that and start working. And as soon as the first obstacle was reached, it would stop, because it wouldn't know what to do, and it wouldn't know if what it developed solves the problem I asked to solve. So that's where the third goal comes in. The third step, rather, the goal. You provide a visual goal, if possible, of what it is you're trying to achieve. So in my case, for this mod, it would be to start a new turn with both of these panels minimized. Not removed from the game, not disabled in the game's code or UI or whatever, just minimized so they're still available if I really want to console them for some reason. So that goal, that little test in the end, makes all the difference, because the AI knows that if it goes through one cycle and it doesn't achieve what I asked for, it's not supposed to stop there. It's supposed to keep going, and it has a North Star to guide it or what to try to achieve by the end of its running, I guess. So when I didn't do that, when I didn't have that goal, then the AI would do something, I have no idea what, and it would say, okay, I'm done, and then I would go back into the game and see that, the task is not done, obviously, but the AI, probably inspecting what it can inspect, thought that it's done mistakenly. So when I added this third step, the goal setting in the test, then the AI could run to completion, and then I would only have to do minor changes, which were not even necessary in this case, but small things in other games, like adjusting the position of some text or the font or something. So very, very, very minor things. Anyway, that's it for modding. I think we are living in a fantastic age where not only we can mod modern games, we can mod older games that we used to be able to play and now we can't because computer specs have gone up or they just changed. We can change older games really easily to modify abilities or basically whatever you want. I think that's fantastic for creativity. That's fantastic for customization. It's super easy because Like I showed in the previous video, I did not use any coding jargon. I did not do any of the coding. I didn't have to speak in a special way. Every prompt was 100% conversational, and I didn't even type it. I dictated it, so it was very natural for me to let the AI know what I wanted to do. And yeah, basically the freedom was fantastic. So as a player, that means you can do all sorts of crazy things. As a developer or as a game designer, that means that if you see a game that you like and you want to test some different playstyle before going ahead and creating your own monster of a game, you could quickly find a game that's similar to what you want to create a private mod, test it locally, see if that's in the direction you want. And if it's working out great, then you can go ahead and make your own separate piece and have a very good idea in your mind of what sort of gameplay experience you want to create. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope you found this interesting. Thank you so much for your time. And as always, have fun.